write your name at the top of his list. And the Statue of Liberty started shaking her fist. And the eagle will fly, and it's gonna be here. Brought to you courtesy of the red, white, and blue.
It's time for Veterans Issues, the show that brings you information about veterans, military, and their family. Now here's your host, Ken Rollins.
Welcome into Veterans Issues. Ken Rollins here, and today's guest, you're going to recognize that face from being on here so many times. I thought he was a co-host at one time. Today's guest is a long-lost Sonny Miller. So stay where you are and come back. You'll enjoy this. Be right back. Welcome back in. Ken Rollins here, and today's Veterans Issues is our guest is Sonny Miller. Sonny has been on here for so many times that, like I said earlier, the folks thought he was a co-host. Sonny is a retired United States Army Sergeant First Class. He's also the former employment officer for the Alabama Employment Service. He worked with he was a Veterans Employment representative, and that's what he was always on here talking about. But he's been retired for a while, and I've been keeping up with him on Facebook and everything. And finally got him to come back down to Alabama, down to Oxford, and do the show today. And welcome to the show, Sonny Miller.
Welcome back to my world.
Welcome.
Yes,
okay.
I've taken over, folks.
Yeah. People that says, where's the bald-headed guy? Do you refer to that?
I have, over this past year, raised a lot of hair crop, and I even bought a comb with 3 teeth in it so I can comb my hair one of these days.
I see, 17, 18, 19.
I know it. It's impressive.
Yeah. Good, you got a sense of humor. We've had some fun over the years, and where you been?
Where I've been? I retired January 1st of last year. Mm-hmm. And since then, I've been to Texas twice, Illinois twice, New Jersey twice, New York. I have been all over. In fact, next month I go back to Texas again. I want to refight the Alamo, see if I can make some people down there remember the Alamo.
Well, San Antonio.
When I was there in January, I didn't do too well, but I've been traveling. And you got your handkerchief ready?
No.
Well, get one.
You
don't even have long sleeves.
I can use it.
When I retired January 1st, I've had some physical problems, such as I walked into a wasp and that sucker bit me on the forehead. I mean, he tried to pollinate me. And I'll tell you what, I walked about 100 feet from where I was bitten into the house, and my head was thump, 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 thump. And I knew no sleep tonight. But I put some honey on that bite. 10 minutes later, didn't even feel a thing. Honey.
Come on.
No, gospel truth. And after an hour, I let the dogs lick it off. But if you put honey on a bee sting, 10 minutes, you won't feel a thing.
If you wasn't so lazy, you could have wet cloth wiped off.
If I had some hair, I could have wiped it off.
Yeah, there you go.
But
well, that's interesting. I'm sure that
smarted.
That's headline. That's breaking news.
Well, you know, I had bought a ride-around lawnmower because I was too lazy to walk around, and I was moving it into my garage, and there's a 3-inch rise from the ground to the top of the floor. Mm-hmm. So I was up front tugging and tugging and tugging, and I finally got the front wheels in. And then I tugged and tugged and tugged to get the back wheels in. And it wouldn't come in. Tug, tug, and I'm all bent over, and it comes loose. And I drop to my behind, and I think, good grief, I broke it, I have to wear a sling. It's not the first time my butt's been in a sling, you understand that.
I know it stayed in it.
The front of the lawnmower dropped down and took skin off both legs. Mm. I mean, pain and agony. You crying out there yet, folks?
Well,
now, it gets better.
Oh, man.
I don't like to do work around the house, but one morning I decided to clear the gutters. So I got up on my trusty ladder, cleaning it out. The ladder shifted, and over I went.
How high was you on the ladder?
About 10 feet.
Oh, Lord.
And I bounced several times, I'll admit that. Mm-hmm. And during one of the bounces, my life was flashing before my eyes, and I will admit that, hey, I remember that scene. Stop, I want to look at that again. You know, at that rate, it's going to take me a long time to die. So I'm laying on the ground, I check my bones. Now, you know how big a softball is? I cut that softball in half, slide it underneath the skin between the knee and the ankle. That's what the bruise looked like. I thought,
Is that why you're wearing the brace now?
well, it gets better.
Oh, my goodness.
So I limped over to the hospital. I knew I was in shock. I wanted to get to the hospital before I came out of it. And they took x-rays of the bump and the ankle to make sure I hadn't broken the ankle. And I was so brokenhearted, the doctor told me there was just severe contusion. I mean, I told her, Doc, I don't like your, I don't like what? I was looking forward to a cast.
Yeah.
So I could get all types of autographs, put my foot in a sling and wrap it around my neck and tell the ladies it's just a flesh wound.
You was wanting sympathy is what it was.
Yeah, I was looking for sympathy. I didn't get none. So she said, maybe next time. Okay. So she said, about 2 months, the swelling on your foot will go down. Okay. Well, 7 weeks later, I went to the VA for my usual checkup to make sure that, you know, they certify I'm alive. And the doc, Dr. Q, took a look at it and said, I don't look good. It's still swollen, red. So he sent me back to the hospital. They took an x-ray of the foot. 3 broken bones and 5 broken toes.
Oh, man.
So they put me in the hospital for 6 days to get rid of that infection. And the first day at around 1 o'clock, they gave me an IV, a bag, to get rid of the infection. No problem. Around 10 o'clock at night, they gave me the second bag. Halfway through the bag, I had seizures, flopping all over the place, sort of like the little girl in Exorcist. Mm-hmm. The only thing I couldn't do was spin my head around.
Yeah.
So all night long, seizure after
The control
seizure.
room said we could try that after the show.
Spin my head around? Kizzy is still mad at me.
Yeah.
I was expecting to show up here today and she'd be leading the 76 trombones in here.
No.
But finally at 4 o'clock that afternoon, the seizures stopped. In fact, my boss came in, former boss, and I had 3 seizures while he was there.
Wow.
And I told him I thought I was buying the farm, and he looked like he was getting ready for a down payment on his farm. I mean, he was nervous. And
Well, hurry up. We got to run. We got to run out of time. Ain't gonna be talking nothing else.
isn't this an hour program today? I guess not.
Not today.
So even the MRI to make sure no brain damage, I had 3 seizures in there. So I did survive. I'm back among the living, and I do wear a special shoe now. You know how a foot ordinarily sort of turns inward? Well, my left foot now turns outward, sort of like a boomerang.
Oh, boy.
And all those fast women I used to chase, I can't chase them no more. They're too fast.
Well, bless your heart.
It's rough. What we got here?
We got. I'll do the leading because normally I used to have you on here and I say, "What do you bring for us today?" And you'd bring up a different subject. We'll do that in the second half.
Yeah.
But I got some pictures I want to show when we come back in the other part of it.
Okay.
But you're talking about the falling off the ladder. We got 45 seconds. I'm going to say this. I climbed up on a ladder because I had a limb that went over my driveway, and the birds would sit on there and leave me a little interesting thing. I had a black vehicle and I had a little white stripes down. So I decided I'd cut that limb off, and I climbed up the ladder, and the next thing I know, I was on the ground, knocked out. I woke up in RMC, and the doctor would say, "What's the last thing you hit?" And I said, "I heard birds laughing. You know, they were laughing, seeing me trying to cut down their roost." But it got 2 broke ribs. I still got. I'll talk to the badger. We got to go to a break. Come back. We got more with Sonny Miller, and I hope you enjoyed what you said there. Be right back. Welcome back into Veterans Issues. I'm talking with an old buddy here, that good friend of TV 24. He's been on here for many years. It's the Veterans Service Officer, our Veterans, the Veterans Employment Representative here for the Alabama Employment Service for many years. He can help veterans get jobs, and he's been out. He's retired his second time. He's been traveling around. He was telling us some of his adventures, and Sonny, you brought some pictures today,
Yeah.
and if I can get the control room, bring them up. I don't know what they are. I saw you giving them to the producer, and she's going.
I'm going to show this to you.
Let's see. Look up there. We'll do.
Okay.
Oh, that's Babe Ruth. That's not
Babe
you.
Ruth.
Yeah.
In my travels in New York, coming from Albany, I saw a sign that said Baseball Hall of Fame, right? So I took a right turn and went to Cooperstown. And this is the original one here. Now, as I walked in, there's a sign that says, what the cost is, $20 for adults, $12 for military veterans. So I took out my ID card, my military retired card, and counted out my money, gave it to the lady. She looked at my card and gave my ID card and my money back to me, and she said, "You don't owe us a thing going in. In fact, we owe you." Wow. So you see there at the bottom.
Yeah, I'm looking at it here on the thing. That is so good.
Yeah, and it just totally amazed me that this lady said, "You don't owe us, we owe you."
Isn't that something?
That's
great.
That was real nice.
All right, let's go to the next one.
Okay, now the next picture, this was made in Erlangen, Germany, probably in early April of 1963. Now you notice, folks, I got hair on my head. Hair, H-A-R-E.
But look, I'm noticing your left hand is on your feet. You spent the whole part of the first part of the show telling about your leg. Now you're holding that leg. Is it hurt there too?
I just been out walking to the woods.
It fell. Okay.
Okay, now the next picture.
You want to get away from that? Come on.
Yes.
Go
Now,
ahead.
I was an MP.
Yeah.
And that picture is made at a British caserne in Bergen-Belsen, Germany.
Those of you that don't know, a concern is an encampment or is a military barracks.
Yes,
and that kind of thing.
we were on duty with the British military police, and Bergen-Belsen, that caserne, that fort, is about a mile from Bergen-Belsen concentration camp. And that's where Anne Frank died. And if you tour the Bergen-Belsen, you'll see mounds, burial mounds, 5 feet high, 100 yards wide, 100 yards long. That says, a sign says, "Here lie 10,000 dead. Walk a few feet." Another one, "Here lies 5,000 dead." I mean,
Oh, that's amazing.
yeah. So,
All right, you brought something. Let's see what you got. I hope it's
Now,
okay.
look,
Now, this is a family program. Remember that.
I understand there was. I always enjoy bringing info to you that'll make
did.
you cry.
Yeah.
Clear out your sinuses a bit.
Please don't do that.
Now, when I went in the Army in 1960, the base pay was $78 a month. Now, 2015, the base pay for an E1 is $15.46 a month.
That's a year.
No, that's a month. $15.46.
I'm ready to cry.
He's starting, folks.
And
look,
you
E2.
said 78. What year did you go in?
1960.
I was 61. I think that's about what mine was.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
E2, 6 months, it's $17.34 a month.
Oh, my goodness.
Read it and weep, son.
But that's not a lot of money in today's world, What we in back then, you could get a loaf of bread for 25, 30 cents.
Well, you go to the movies on post for a quarter, get a haircut for 25 cents.
Yeah.
There used to be signs all around the post that says, "Re-enlist and buy a new car." A re-enlistment was $3,000.
They don't charge you the same amount for that haircut, do they?
They did then. They don't now.
Seems like you get one of those stickers for $0.
He's
What
picking
else
on
you
me,
got?
folks. He's
What else-
picking on me.
Yeah, what else you
Okay,
got?
now this is for military women. They're offering an essay contest for scholarships. Military women across the nation are holding an essay contest that offers a $1,500 scholarship to a relative of a woman who has served or is serving in the armed forces. The topic for the essay is women at war. It's not marriage, it's women at war.
Same thing.
So, I know, I've been married twice. I know what
you.
pain in the
I
neck
knew
is all
that. I
about.
knew you can relate.
For applications and requirements, visit
have that.
milwomen.org.
Or call Ken. He'll have this information for you.
Now, I used to work with employers, and part of a lot of them were federal contractors. And there were a lot of things they were supposed to do, and they never did. Now, under the latest law that's taking effect right now, contractors will have to start collecting annual data on their veteran hiring practices. They've got to put in paper what they've done to hire veterans. I love this bill. It's a modification of an earlier bill. So federal contractors have now got to toe the line.
Well, you know, they've got a lot of things since you were here. I was telling folks about, like, if you got what's the driver's license you have to have? CDL.
CDL.
You got a CDL in the military, Alabama. Now, I'll tell you, Alabama will honor that CDL from the military, that you can go ahead and get your job driving trucks. Those
A lot of
kind
states,
things.
like Florida, does that
And
too.
a lot of the other, if they're certified electrician, certified anything like that, they'll also honor it. This is Alabama, so those are good things. What else you got? Quick.
Okay, now, you know those burn pits in Iraq
Absolutely.
causing problems? And then KBR, let's see, Kellogg, something, KBR, a federal contractor, they were sued for the burn pits and the electrocution of some soldiers. And KBR said it's not our fault, it was done by contractors in Iraq. Federal government says, Supreme Court says, you can be sued now.
Yeah.
And
There's a lot of that, even in Afghanistan, the military, everybody throwing things into a pit and burn them,
Yeah.
and it goes down wind, and if you breathe it, you veterans out there, especially those of Iraq and Afghanistan, check with the VA, your veteran service officer, and see where you stand on that, because, and not only that, but at Fort McClellan, the Agent Orange was handled there. There's a lot of things. I was reading yesterday about the C-123 airplane, the people that handled it, the Air Force people that handled the Agent Orange on the plane. There's so many things that's available. If you've been afflicted by any of those illnesses that come with that Agent Orange stuff, if you're at Fort McClellan, remember do you know about the water at Camp Lejeune, the
Yep.
Marine Corps, where everybody
Sure
goes
do.
through base? They got people that's got problems from drinking the water at Camp Lejeune over the years. So just these are things, check with your local veteran service officer and see if you've got some kind of a disorder, it might be relative to some of your service there. What else you got?
that's why I don't drink water.
I know it. You're drinking a mixed drink, not a mixed
Notice,
drink.
folks, I'm getting mellow as I drink here. There's a story.
How much time we got there from the control?
Well, now, there's another story. A lot of veterans.
45 seconds?
45 seconds?
No, can't do that in 45 seconds.
Well, this is a short story. A lot of veterans have claimed, National Guard reserves, that airplanes they got from the federal government, they used to carry Agent Orange. The National Guard and reserves are saying they have gotten all these diseases from that. And now the government's starting to say that may be true.
They are. Sonny, it's so good to see you, buddy.
Give me more time.
And for those folks out there that y'all been asking about him, I brought him back. We got to go to a break. Come back. I got news you can use. Stay where you are. Welcome back to Veterans Issues. This is news you can use. I want to thank Sonny Miller for coming in today, and I hope that he'll come back. I'm sure he will if he's in the area, if he lands and don't hurt his feet. It's good hearing those stories, but he's a good friend of the show, and the veteran never had a better friend. So thanks to Sonny again. Any of you veterans out there that have a power chair, wheelchair, or you know a veteran that does, listen up. If you've seen those track chairs that look like bulldozer tracks that Wounded Warriors, I think Bill O'Reilly gave $9 million to, and they have them for those. Like one of the fellows here in our area got one. He's paralyzed down. Those will allow you to go fishing. You can go in the woods. You can go hunting, off-road, whatever. I guess you can go mud riding if you wanted to. But it gives you some freedom that you may have lost by having your bad legs or whatever. A bad back. If you're in a power chair, give me a call at the number that's on the screen you see here. I got somebody that's a foundation that's taking care of that, and a certain thing you got to meet the parameters, but it's not that hard. By the way, I'll be getting one, and I'm gonna probably run it through the studio here and tear up all the wires and knock over the cameras just to show you what I got. But anyhow, the track chairs with the tracks on, so you can go outdoors. They got a gun rack on them. They got a rod and reel rack. All kinds of little things that you can put on that they'll put on there for you. So give me a call if you know somebody that fits that, and we'll take care of it. Now, a lot of you got a Veterans Choice card in the mail. Okay, you got information about a Veterans Choice card. That is, if you live more than 40 miles from a treatment facility, that you can go by calling a number on that card. You can be authorized to go to a facility, civilian facility near you. As a matter of fact, yesterday my VA doctor tried to get me an appointment over in Birmingham for some things on my legs, and they didn't have an early appointment. So he called a local hospital and authorized me to go there yesterday, and when I leave the show today, I'm going back up there on the VA's dime, because it's they can't do it in Birmingham. So that is something, that choice card, pay attention to it, look, see what it says on it, what you can use it for. If you live too far away from the facility or they can't get to you within the 30 days, lots of reasons they'll let you use that card. There's a, let me see. Okay, I'll give you some numbers that you can call over there to find out if you're eligible for things to go locally, and that's 205-933-8101. That's the main number, 205-933-8101. You hit 1 and extension 6761 or extension 11373. Those will get you through to find out about what you can use that choice card for over at the Birmingham VA will authorize it. They're building a new women's clinic in Birmingham, a new parking deck, and a new eye clinic. And they tell me that that'll be the midsummer when that's finished. So looking for that, July and August, somewhere in there, I guess. And let's see what else he got. The shout outs to Lisa, Cindy, Sandy, Amy, Daryl, Ricky, Judy, and Vince. And I want to thank everybody that's been buying that law enforcement tag, honoring our fallen law enforcement officers. It makes a great statement about you and what you feel about law enforcement. When you get time to renew your tag, if you will, ask for the law enforcement tag. And it goes good with every kind of vehicle you got, and it makes a statement about you and what you think about our law enforcement. And I know you, like me, if you watch this show, you really appreciate our law enforcement, and that'll say you do. So this week, the salute goes out to all those that serve Alabama's veterans at the Oxford VA Clinic. I'll get to other clinics later, but I just want to say the Oxford VA Clinic, Sonny Miller mentioned Dr. Qureshi. Dr. Qureshi and all the nurses and all the people that work there, the admin people, we appreciate you and love you. And this salute's for you. We'll see you next week on Veterans Issues. Salute.